Alright, I got another tip out there for you shop teachers and students. This one revolves around the measurement side of things. Over the years I've had a lot of trouble with helping kids measure. Part of the trouble is just the whole metric versus imperial system and these rulers that I tend to buy because they're cheap and I can throw them away practically. One of the problems I was wondering for the longest time was why I had kids who would measure something and it would be off, it'd be weird, and sometimes clearly weird, sometimes how'd you get this? And there was two reasons for that. Okay, so let's take you down to the tape measure or the ruler, and you can I'll show you what I mean. So here's one of those rulers I was talking about, and the first problem I always had that I couldn't figure out why it was, everything was off by about 1/8 of an inch, and then it occurred to me, these rulers that I buy don't start here. The kids assume, even if I tell them, they still end up taking measurements right off the edge instead of right here at the line. So I got a solution for that. So you've probably guessed it, but we're at the squaring shear, and I'm going to shear the tip right off of that at 0. That way the end of the ruler actually reads 0. Trust me, it saves you a lot of pain and headache. So line that up. And there it is, sheared off at 0. Alright, let's talk about the other problem. Here's the other problem with these rulers. Alright, now I realize that Canada is a metric country, and everybody thinks, hey, we're metric, but as we all know, trades still, majority of them work in the imperial system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this silly meter system right along the bottom here that confuses kids. Alright, in my shop, I don't work in the metric system. We work in the imperial system because all my equipment is calibrated in the imperial system. And all the businesses around town here, all the trades, I mean, if they're going to get hired as a, what do you call it, as a welder's helper or apprentice or something, they're not going to use the silly meter system. They're going to use the imperial system. So I'm going to show you how you do that. I'll be back here in a second. Alright, we're back, and this is what I do with all my rulers when I replace them. I got this little jig we made up real quick. It just clamps the ruler into in between two pieces of 1-inch stock, a couple of wing nuts, and all it does is it just covers up the imperial system so I don't wreck that. And I'm just going to go right over to the sandblaster and hit it with some aluminum oxide and take that right off. For the most part, it'll be faintly there, but all the black will be gone, and no more metric. We'll be back. And we're back, and here you go, gone. Take this apart. And there we go, a ruler that no one can mistake which measurement unit to work, and snipped off so you can never have a problem there. And they're pretty cheap. I think I get them for a couple bucks. So the last thing I'll do is I'm just going to write PHSS Metal Shop right there and stick it on the shelf. But that's it for this little tips and tricks making life easier in the metal shop. So hopefully you learned something and it worked out for you. So until next time, pride and workmanship is always a factor.